WordPress Slider Revolution Plugin Tutorial, WordPress Slider Plugin. In this video, we are going to be talking about the WordPress Slider Revolution plugin and how you're going to be using this incredible platform for yourself in the easiest way. Okay, we're going to be using the Slider plugin. I'm going to be downloading it and I'm going to be going through all of the features that the Slider plugin provides us. And we're going to be going through it in great detail. So, please do make sure to fully watch this video till the end so you can get a full concept of how the slider plugin is used and how you are going to alternate it with your website editor and how we are going to go ahead and work with this in great detail in that. So to start things off, what you're going to do is you're going to come over to your WordPress. Now, to get in detail of the slider plugin, let's actually talk about what the slider plugin brings us, what it does for you, how does it actually integrate within our store, and what features will it provide us when we're using it. Okay, so the slider plugin is basically a plugin that will allow you to go ahead and create different sliders using the Evolution plugin. And there's different templates for it as well, where you can get these animations where your elements or sections in the screen are slided up or they're slided across. It's basically an animated website. So the things you would rather create using JavaScript, they can be done easily using the slider plugin. And I'm going to be showing you how you can do all of this manually from scratch and how you can add different slides to do the main animations using different layers of slides. Okay, so I'm going to create a slider from scratch and let me show you the main plugin that you're going to get. So there's a website for the plugin. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and write Slider Revolution. Now, once you go ahead and write Slider Revolution, here you are. It says Slider Revolution more than just a WordPress slider. Okay, so here you open things up. So now you have the Slider Revolution opened up right in front of you. Okay, now if you want to go ahead and buy this plugin, you can go ahead and get it for yourself easily by getting on Get Pro Level Visuals. Okay, and using this, you will be able to create anything that you can imagine, not just amazing responsive sliders. Okay, it gives you sliders, gives you heroes, it gives you different websites, content, and media that are all animated. Okay, it's pretty incredible and pretty easy to use. And to buy it for yourself, what you can do is you're going to come over to Buy Now. And once you come over to Buy Now, over here, it's going to give you the different pricings that you can buy it in. Okay, so the different pricings will obviously be according to your budget and needs. So the annual payment is $35 per year for one website, which is a starter, $89 per year for 3 websites, which is the enthusiast plan, and $139 for as many websites as you want. Okay, so pretty incredible stuff. And you can also go with the one-time payment if you want to. So if you want to go with the starter one-time payment, it's $89. The enthusiast one-time payment is $227, and the main professional payment is $5,333. So you can buy this for yourself easily from this section, and the payment can be done through PayPal, Apple, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or any other provider you have. Now, once you are over here, what you can do from this section is you are going to go over to your plugins. Now, it depends on your region if the Slider Revolution plugin appears for you. So you can check it out through the plugin section over here by writing Slider Revolution. Okay, so I'm going to write in Slider Revolution over here. Okay, and if the Slider Revolution appears here for you, you probably have the correct, you could say, region. But if it doesn't, you can just buy it on from here. And once you buy it from here, it's going to give you a zip file. And once you get that zip file, you're going to come here to your plugins. You're going to click on upload. And once you click on upload, you're going to drag and drop the zip file that you want to add into your WordPress. Okay, so once you add that, it will install the plugin that you're looking for, which is basically the Slider Revolution plugin. And once you have done that, it should, appropriately correct things for you, and it should properly download the required details. Now, the Slider Revolution plugin will also allow you to edit your website just like Elementor. Okay, it's basically a main frame website editor. It's not just used for sliders. Okay, so you can create different responsive slides, and you can create different prime looks for add-ons and whatnot. Okay, And you can do all of that using your Elementor package as well. So if you have Elementor's website builder, it can all be integrated into that. So let me show you once we download it. Let me show you what happens when we get into the main plugin section and what a dashboard looks like. Now, once our application is downloaded and good to go, you can go over to the main plugin sections. And in the main plugin section, what you can do is you can easily add these Prime devices and Prime programs for yourself. So let's say I'm going to go over to the Prime Revolution section. Now over here, it's going to give you never miss an important update, etc. You can skip this or you can allow this for yourself if you want to. I'm going to skip that and we're going to come here where it gives us all widgets, core, third party, and activity. Okay, so this is your main dashboard. Okay, this is what your dashboard is supposed to look like. It's pretty straightforward and, you know, it's pretty savvy. You know, not a lot of working going along with it, and there's not a lot of details that work into it as well. Okay, so you know it's pretty straightforward to understand all of this. Now, once you've gone through with all of that, it's going to give you different analytics for different things like the widgets you've used, the cores you've used, the third-party providers you've used, and the activity that's going on. You can also get the system requirements like the PHP version, execution time, everything is on a tick. The memory limit is currently 512, which is not feasible. Okay, so you can increase that using your browser. Okay, now my browser is on a memory limit, so I'm gonna change that. Now, once you've changed your memory's browser limit, what you can do from there is you can start off with your basic necessities for your Prime Slider. So to start off with Prime Slider, first of all, what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna go over to Prime Slider as so. And once you come over to Prime Slider, what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna go over to the core widgets. Now, once you go into core widgets, here it gives you tons and tons of things that you can add, like Astoria, 5-star, and blog, Dragon, Elysium. So these are different widgets that you can activate for yourself and add into your store. And there's also different filters that you can apply because there's a lot of pro widgets, but obviously we're going to go with the free ones because, you know, if we're using a free platform, I'd rather also use the free widgets. Now over here, I'm going to turn on multi-scroll. And what you can do is you can also view a demo of any slider widget you use. So here we have this multi-scroll base, and look at that. So that's what multi-scroll is. Okay, so just like this, you can add different slider widgets. So I'm going to turn most of these things on for myself. So I'm going to click on activate all. And once we have done that, obviously we're going to go ahead and use these as well. Now I'm also going to show you how to use this, so keep on watching. Then it brings us to this, where we get WooCommerce, WooCircle, WooLamp, which are third-party widgets, which are basically integrations. Now these integrations basically help you to get different widgets according to your WooCommerce base. Okay, so here's our WooCommerce base. And as you can see, this basically displays your products in a WooCommerce circle that you can add into your website. And moving on, we have extensions. Now there's only one extension right now, which is the adaptive background, and it's not the best in my opinion, so I would rather keep that off. Then we have things like live copier base, duplicator, and reveal effects. So all of these widgets work individually and differently, and they're pretty easy to work around with as well. But once you've activated all the things for yourself, you're going to click on Save Settings, and this basically activates your Prime Slider. Okay, so once your Prime Slider is activated, what you can do is you can go ahead and use it with your different individualities of your editor. Okay, so you can have editors like, let's say, Elementor. You could do it with WordPress's very own editor if you want, and you can find the widgets that you've saved in your widget section as well. So you can go through these things and apply those widgets to your website in a very simple and easy way. So right now, as you can see, it gives us the Max Mega Menu widget that I personally created for myself. This is a custom widget that I created. But if I were to click on this plus icon over here, what you're going to do is you can actually get different widgets for yourself. Okay, so these different widgets that you see in great, bulk over here, these are basically the widgets that you saved off of your Prime Slider. Okay, And this is the best part about Prime Slider. Okay, you can use all of its widgets individually through its integrations, and you can use different patterns and media along with it as well if you want to. But obviously, it all depends on how you choose to use all of this for yourself. So, once we've added our core widgets, it's also going to let us know, how many core widgets have we activated. So we can see that there are 6 core widgets activated in our website. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our Elementor. Okay. And once you go over to your Elementor, what you're going to do from here is, first of all, you're going to go into your Elementor's settings. Now, in your Elementor setting, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be allowing data sharing. Okay. So once you allow data sharing, you're also going to go over to integrations and make sure all types of data sharing has been turned on. And once all of that is on, you're going to click on Save Changes again. And once we click on Save Changes again, that basically applies all the individual settings that we're looking for. So once that is done, what you can do from there is you can come into Elementor's home section where you can start creating your widgets. Okay, so the creation of your widgets starts from creating a page. So if we go ahead and click on create a page, it basically loads us into Elementor's editorial section. So let's just wait for Elementor's editor to load in. And once Elementor's editor is good to load up, what we're going to do from there is we're going to add the individual editorials in this section. So what you do want to know is that the widgets that you use for Elementor or with Elementor will obviously be styled differently. So here we have Prime Slider down here in Elementor, right? So in Prime Slider, let's go ahead and add something like general. Let's just add general. Let's say simple right now. I'm going to add something like general over here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna add anything of your choice into this. So if you want to edit it, as you can see, you have different slider items. Like first of all, we have massive. Okay, this is a slider item that you can get. So you're gonna change your title. So I'm gonna call this cars. Okay, just for now. Then title, let's call this Camry, Toyota Camry. Okay, I'm gonna add that in. And once we add that in, here we have button text. So I'm gonna go ahead and write check it out. So we have cars, Toyota Camry, and check it out. Now, once you do that, you can also lead a button link. Now, the button link could go to a website of yours. It could go to any page that you want it to go to, etc. Then moving on, we can also change the background colors, and you can actually see the text being edited as well. Okay, so first of all, we have the background color. Okay, you can change it in any style or fashion you want it to be. So let's say I'm going to stay on this color. You can also add an image in the background. You can add a video or any other type of vibrant section. Then we have this vibrant text over here, which is basically the different subtitles that you can get. So again, for this, I'm going to add super car. Okay. And over here, we're going to go ahead and write something like Toyota Supra. Okay, we're going to go ahead and write that. We're going to read more for that as well. And then once this is done, this slider item is good to go. We're going to open up Wallow. And once we're over here, we're going to go ahead and add a luxury car. So I'm going to come here, write the title Toyota Crown. Okay, so we have 3 categories of cars now. Now, once you've added these 3 categories, you can add more items into this widget if you want to. And as you can see, the more items I add, the more animations it adds for me. And the more animations it adds, the better for our website. So once this is done, what you can actually do is you're going to go into its optional settings and you can change the height of your widget. You can also go ahead and change its different HTML tagging, but obviously this is stuff that goes really deep into the editorial settings, so you can choose to add it or not add it. Then we have items like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram that we have on the left side over here. Let's say I don't want to add Twitter. I'm going to remove Twitter and now we just have Facebook, Instagram, but you can also add more if you want to, okay? So you can go on to add as many you want. Then we have scroll down. Okay, so this is basically the button text. So the more you scroll down, the more this text goes on and on. Okay, so I'm going to keep the duration 100 so the scroll down time is good. Slider settings, is it on autoplay? Is it not on autoplay? You can choose that. Then you're also going to choose the autoplay interval. So let's say I'm going to go with 1,000 milliseconds, okay? And then you can also go with pause and hover. So if a person hovers on this, the slide pay will pause. So as you can see, it's paused right now, but the second I move it, look at that. It starts going through. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the time a little more. Let's go with 3,000. Okay. That should relatively be good. So we have 3 seconds on the timer, which is pretty cool. And you can also go with the animation speed. So how fast does the animation actually kick in? So you can obviously go with that. I'm going to keep it on 0.1. Then we have the loop as well. Do you want to add a consistent loop? I'm going to go with yes. Draggable, yes, I'm going to keep that as well. And once we've done that, you have slider animation. So you have different slider animations as well. First of all, you have fade. Now this is slide. So as you're going to see, it's going to slide to the next slide. Okay. Then you have scale. Now scale is basically a zoom in, zoom out section. Okay. So as you can see, that zooms out and the other zooms in. Then we have push. Push is also another parallax animation that you can get where it just pushes the slide out of the way. And then pull is the opposite of push, where it pulls the slide in front of it. Okay. So choose the best for you. I'm going to go with scale, which I think would look best. And then you have Ken-burn animations as well. So Ken-burn animations basically goes ahead and gives it a little bit of a smoother look. Okay, it gives you a good fade out, gives you a good transition. So I'm going to keep that on as well. So this basically sets our sliders animation. Okay, this basically sets our widgets look and how we want to approach the main outlook of this. Now, moving on from here, what you can do is you can also go into the styling section. And in the styling section, you can change the texts, the fonts, and the actual effects of the text. Do you want to add, different widgets in it? Do you want to add different effects like shadows, lifts, overlays, backgrounds, glow, whatever you want? That all can be added in this section for you. And moving on, we also have advanced where you can change the actual sectioning and margins of your page accordingly if you want to. That is also a good feature. Now, this is obviously one widget that I've added. Let's go ahead and discuss the other sliders that we have as well. Now, moving on, we have a dragon slider. Okay, so what is a dragon slider? Let's go ahead and add it and you could see for yourself. So a dragon slider is basically a prime slider which allows you to, give you a proper slideshow, because this is basically a post. This more of is a presentation that person can interact with. So that's what your dragon slider is. And what you can do is you can edit your dragon slider individually as well. So you can get all of these different animations for your widgets in the easiest way. And this is the best part about your Slider Revolution application. Basically, it lets you add all the integrities into your application the way you want. Okay. Then moving on, let's go ahead and also add our other widgets. So personally, my favorite widget out of all of these is multi-scroll. Now, you probably are wondering, what is multi-scroll? Multi-scroll is basically an animation that you can get by scrolling down your page. Okay, so currently it's not showing it, but if you scroll down your page, what happens from there is that it adds a multi-roll for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and reload my page real quick just to give you an example of what multi-roll does. So basically it's a section with two images on the left hand and right hand side. And the more you scroll down, the more animation it changes. So one scroller goes up, one comes down. Okay, it's pretty straightforward, and it's a pretty fun little widget to have for yourself. So once you have added this widget for yourself, let me go to preview changes to give you an idea of what the multi-scroll widget does for you. So here we have multi-scroll, and as you scroll down right now, obviously multi-scroll doesn't have a lot of features in it. So I'm going to add that and I'm going to show you how it works. But apart from that, you can check out the Supra storage as well. So as you can see, if I'm hovering over it, it's going to be paused. But the second I move back As you can see, it's going to go ahead and start its animation. You can also move it forward as you please. So pretty cool, and it looks so neat. It looks really nice, and it's a great widget to add for your page for, representation of whatever brand. Like in my case, I'm representing Toyota cars, right? So pretty straightforward and pretty fun to get your head around. Now moving on, what you can do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this widget, and this is multi-scroll, as you can see in front of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit multi-scroll, okay, and you're going to choose your images. Okay, you're going to choose the actual recurring images that you're going to need for this section. So I'm going to choose one image for multi-scroll, and once you have chosen one image, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be choosing the other images for multi-scroll as well. I'm going to choose the other images. Let's go with this one for now. Okay, I'm going to click on select. So basically, if someone scrolls down, it's going to basically multi-scroll like this. And as you can see, this is how the scrolling works. So I'm going to just add one more multi-scroll. I'm going to choose this image, and I'm going to go ahead and add another media. Okay. And what you can do is you can add any media of any car. So I'm going to click on select files, and we're going to go to the car images that I have saved for myself. So let's say I'm going to go with this one. Okay. And once it uploads, I'm going to select it, put it straight into this. And now that we have added that, I'm going to close down the multi-scroll. And now that you've closed down multi-scroll, you can also go ahead and add in as many images as you want. You can also go with the image resolution. I'm going to keep it on full. Okay, I'm not going to change it too much. And then there's show image as well, which obviously we're going to keep on. You can also show a subtitle for yourself if you want to. In the case of a multi-scroll, I would rather keep the subtitle off. Okay, I don't think it really needs a place. You can also turn on the easing effect, which basically brings the autoplay pretty simply. And once you've done that, let's go ahead and preview the changes that we have made. So once we come here, here's your auto scroll. Obviously right now it's not properly loaded in, but once it does, as you can see, this is how your auto roll works. So I'm going to turn the autoplay off for now. And once you turn the autoplay off, as you can see, if I scroll down, it's going to change its settings like these. So that's what multi-scroll does for you, and it's one of my favorite features because auto scroll truly does change the look of your page, and it also gives the users that visit your page a very good sense of visiting. Okay, it attracts them to your site because they see that there's actual work done in your site, and obviously, if work's done in your site, you're pretty serious about something. And obviously, we're going to move over to more widgets. So this is a widget called Isolate. Now, Isolate is a widget where the image appears beyond the text. So first of all, we have the image. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the image for myself. So obviously, I'm representing cars. So I'm going to go ahead and add this image. And look at that. This image appeared by itself. And if I click on play, it's going to go to a YouTube source. So right now, it took me to this YouTube source, but obviously, I could portray any video in front of it that I want. Okay. So that is what you can actually do with this. So go ahead and choose the images. Okay. I'm going to choose as much images as I can. I'm going to choose this one. And with each, you can add a new link for the video that you want to show through the image. And it all depends on how you choose to style it for yourself. It's pretty straightforward and it's pretty simple. As you can see, the slider goes on and on. So that's one slider. Here's the second slider. Here's the third slider. So the time for your animations can all be, set it up in the slider settings, or you can also mess it around with the additional option setting, but preferably go into your slider settings, choose the better time mark for yourself. So let's say I'm going to go with 4. You can also choose to, pause and hover. Again, that is a setting that I would, genuinely ask you people to turn on, because if someone likes a slide and they choose to read the, you could say, details or descriptions in it, or maybe they want to, look at the picture longer, you're going to turn on pause to hover, and if they may bring their mouse over, it's going to pause it for them so they can easily read it for themselves, because then it might just get annoying if they again and again have to go ahead and wait for the slide to come back again to read it. And again, turn on Ken Burns animation as well, because again, it just gives you a very smooth and scaled up, look. So, another widget that works pretty incredibly. Now, moving on, we talked about multi-scroll dragon, we talked about isolate, and talked about general, but there's also tons and tons of other, widgets that you can add for yourself. So another great widget that a lot of people use is the Rubik's. Okay. Now the Rubik's basically, as the name states, basically it gives you three small options above it, and it slides through those three small options. Okay. And the more it slides through, the more time you have to read, and it's basically another slider, as the name goes. It's another slider for your website where the basic elements of your page slide along as you add details into it. And moreover, you can also go with other widgets that you can find in the section below. So Tango is another great section. This is good for images. So if you want to portray different images and you want to scroll through them, you can, change through those as well. So I'm going to choose this image. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and choose another image for item 2. Then we're going to go over ahead, choose another image for item 3. Okay. And yeah, I think those are enough. I'm going to remove the 4th item, and this basically creates a slider for these items. Then moving on, you can change the labels for them as well. So you can, write Toyota and then write Supra down here, and just change the labels and subtitles accordingly for yourself to whatever extent you think they will work appropriately and accordingly. All right. Now, once we've gotten a clear-cut idea of all these things, what you can do from there is you can create your website. Okay, you can create your website using all of these widgets for yourself. You can add different individualities, and you can even make these slider menus work with each other. So let's say I'm going to add another slider menu, and I'm going to add it personally for the individual elements down here. So I'm going to go to Prime Slider. Okay, and the Prime Slider, obviously, it asks you to add text, and it also asks you to add an image. Okay. So again, you can add different images for yourself in the background. So we have this. Now, obviously, we can see that the text is not appearing. So in that case, what you're going to do is you're going to go over to stylings, and you're going to choose the appropriate text color. So as we can see, we made that white, and we're going to do the same for the upper text. So once you do this for yourself, wait, let me just change the color for that. There we go. Then we have subtitle. Subtitle you can change for yourself as well. Okay, I'm gonna change its color to something yellow. Let's go with white. You can change its typography for yourself. You can also change the excerpt, okay, which is basically where it blends in from. You can change the button individualities as well, and then you have Prime Slider 2, which obviously you can edit as well. So I'm gonna open up the slider over here and go over to content, and this is the add-on element pack. Okay, and you're going to do the same for this section. Just scroll down. Okay, go over to choose image, and you're going to choose the appropriate image for yourself. And once you choose the appropriate image, it opens things up like this. And you can keep different colors for different sections of text. And obviously, you can keep all these things accordingly for yourself as you please. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and remove the second slider, the third slider, sorry. And once I remove the third slider, that should basically set us all up. So once we have this, let me just go ahead and publish it. And once I publish it, let me show you how it looks. So to show you how it looks, I'm just going to wait for it to load up. Now, obviously, you're going to wait, give it a few minutes to actually render the things accordingly for itself. You're going to give it a few seconds to, work things out for itself. And once those things are done, your sliders should be good to go, and they should look incredible, okay? So just reload your website a few times, and you're going to make sure that, again, the limiter for your website, you're going to make sure that that is increased for your Slider Revolution. And the reason for that is because you might get these issues if your memory is not sustained. So make sure that your memory is sustained and make sure your Slider Revolution is working properly by previewing it again and again, because that is where you can tell if the memory is sustained. But yeah, that is pretty much all there is for this video. Now, if you enjoyed watching, please do make sure to drop down a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, do let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be making a whole lot more for you. Till then, that is all from me, and I'll be seeing all of you wonderful people in the very next video. Have a great and incredible day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.